start.
Hello everyone. My team, Abigail, Charmaine, Li Jin, Sherry, Xing Jie, and I will be talking about Orion developers that is regarding problem 4. So we will talk about problem with existing information, research methods to conduct customer survey, ways to design a good survey, as well as ways of profiling and segmenting customers, and ethical issues on the use of such data. So for reviewing of the files, Project 135 was completed 3 months ago with a total of 200 units, out of which 35 units have made actions to their own units by replacing floor finishes with painting of internal walls and fitted window grills. And for Project 246, which was completed 6 months ago, there's a total of 120 units, and 45 units out of the 120 units have faced problems such as water seepage, loose timber flooring, and faulty marble vanity top. And for Project 789, it was completed 18 months ago with a total of 300 units. There are problems with their recreational facilities such as loose pebbles at the foot reflexology path, flooding at the garden, as well as rusting of garden furniture. Under URA, there's a defects liability period where developer is obliged to rectify any defects found in the unit, common property, or housing project. And if it falls within a period of 12 months or from the date that developer delivers the vacant possession of the unit to the purchaser, or the 15th day after purchaser have received the notice of TOP and that roads, drainage, and sewerage have been completed, and defects that are found within these periods, the purchaser should follow the sales and purchase agreement and get the developer to rectify the defects. And for the missing information in Project 135, information should actually include the personal details of the purchaser, unit numbers, date and time of actions made. This is to sieve out which units have problems so that it will be easier for the developer to rectify the problems. And we also should know the reasons of why they have made such actions to their units. Is it because of defects found before they moved in, or it's just that it's up to their own interest to change up to their liking? So we also have to find the total cost incurred. If the defects are found because of the developer's fault, then developers are supposed to take the responsibility to rectify the defects. As for the second piece of information, they should also have the first 5 information, which is personal details, unit numbers, date and time actions, reasons, and total cost incurred. They should also have an inspection checklist and a root of problem, as well as contractor engaged. The inspection checklist is to show the condition and the severity of the defects found, and they should also have found out the root of the problem so that it will be easier to rectify the problems accurately. And the contractor engaged is that whether the contractor is someone who wants more profit and exchange it for the poor workmanship as well as poor material used. And for the third piece of information, they should also include the personal details, unit numbers, date and time of report made. And in addition, they should have the report and documentation, so that because the problem is on the recreational facilities and it might be a recurring problem. Therefore, with a report, there will be history on the problems and it will be easier for them to take reference to and rectify the problems in future. And they should also know the time taken to rectify the problem, so that to ensure that the property manager is doing their job well.
Next up, in the case of Orion developers, in conducting customer survey, it allows us to understand the reason behind all the dissatisfaction and how to improve on it. Customer survey is actually an after-sale action where we get to know the level of customer satisfaction and to know their opinions and views on our properties. First method would be in-person interview. It's actually an interview that is one-to-one and an actual face-to-face interaction. It is easy for us to gauge the respondents' honesty through their body languages and expressions. There is also a space created for further probing, like for example, if there is a certain door design that they don't like, we can ask them specifically like what about the door that they don't like. And also, however, this method is very costly and time consuming. One-to-one interview requires a lot of interviewers, a lot of trained interviewers, hence it will incur a lot of cost. And also one interview may take up to hours, so it will be very time consuming. Next up, telephone interview. It has lower response rate due to no pickup and rejection. However, it can be a good form of obtaining essential information. Just like one-to-one interview, it allows us to gauge their honesty through their tone and fluency of the speech. However, in this age, usually people don't go through the phone, as people may deem handphone as a personal space of privacy where they don't wish to receive any spam calls or calls from people they don't know. Thirdly, it will be the mail survey. Mail survey is a quantitative marketing research data collection method. It requires the respondents to complete questionnaires on the paper and return them via mail. However, in the case of a condominium, it will be the questionnaires that are mailed out by us, and we'll collect back from them. The response rates for this mail survey are typically very low, as people are not very keen on filling up questionnaires that are open-ended. And if we set questions through MCQ, the quality of response will be compromised. Fourthly, online survey. It is the most common method due to the low costs and automation and real-time access. It is also time efficient, it is convenient, and it provides confidentiality. However, there's the limited sample population scope, where majority of the respondents will come from a certain age group, usually the teenagers, since they are more familiar with the online survey and the technologies. There's also the inability to probe further on a certain response. Just like the previous example, if the question is set out to them to know what are the things that they don't like, and they simply respond by door, we wouldn't know the specific of the door that they don't like, and we can't provide them with better doors. Lastly, it will be the focus group discussions. It is similar to one-to-one interview. However, this is the case of a group of people of similar backgrounds and experiences to discuss a specific topic of interest. In this case, it will be the information that is missing from what Jasmine has shared. From this, we are able to identify their behavioral changes in discussing the topic, and also further probe on their extreme views. The pros of it will be that it will be useful to obtain detailed information about personal and group feelings, perceptions, and opinions. It also saves time and money as compared to personal interviews where you have everyone at one time. It also provides broader range of information, offers the opportunity to seek clarification. However, the bad side to it will be the possibility of drifting from topic as it is group discussion. It can also be hard to control and manage the group of people to direct them towards a certain topic. And it may also have a few people who are not actively participating, people who are keeping quiet, and only those dominant people who are speaking out their views. Some participants may feel pressure to agree with a dominant view as well.
Okay, so now we're talking about ways to design a good survey. But firstly, what is a good survey? A good survey is one that is well organized, short and sweet, but still able to have all the necessary information. One that can meet the research objectives, obtain the most complete and accurate information, and it is easy for respondents to give necessary information and easy for the organization to record the answers. Okay, so here are some ways to design a good survey. Firstly, it is important to know what is the objective of the survey so that we are able to come up with the correct and useful questions. And next will be the questions must be simple and in direct language, so it is important to avoid big words, complicated words, and words that could have multiple meanings, so that respondents will be able to understand the survey questions completely and to provide accurate answers. And it is important to avoid double-barreled questions. A double-barreled question is a question composed with more than 2 issues or topics, but which only one answers can be given. And therefore, it is important that each question should only ask one thing at a time. Next will be, there are different questions that we can come up with. Firstly will be the close-ended questions. So close-ended questions is used to gather specific answers. So some questions, some example of the questions are yes or no questions, true or false, and agree and disagree. And the next question will be open-ended question. So it is used to solicit feedbacks, and it is able to collect more details and get feedbacks that you will not expect from the respondents. So the last type of questions will be multiple choice question. So a multiple choice question is a good way to deal with broad concepts that mean different things to different people. And next will be, we must avoid confused and biased question. So questions should be phrased in a neutral way that is not leading respondents to a particular answer. So questions should be formed around facts and statements instead, rather than opinions. And order of questions is also important. Questions should follow each other logically. And lastly, we must preview and test the questions before letting out the survey. We must make sure that all the questions are phrased correctly and all questions make sense, and there should be no typo errors.
Moving on, how can Orient developers profile and segment their customers? Customer segmentation and profiling is the act of dividing a customer base into groups of individuals that are similar in a specific way. This allows the organization to group customers in order to target a specific audience in a cost-effective manner. It may be based on a single variable such as age, or even multiple variables such as age, income, and lifestyle. There are 5 different ways to segment and profile customers, and they are geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, behavioral segmentation, as well as segmentation through areas of concern. So firstly, geographic segmentation. This involves segmenting customers based on where they are located. It may be as broad as countries or states, or as narrow as districts within a country. In this case, Orient developer is able to segment its customer based on districts within a country. So this allows them to manage the districts more effectively and efficiently. Secondly, demographic segmentation. This involves segmenting customers based on several factors such as their income, age, gender, education, occupation, or even their family size. In this case, Orient developer is able to segment its customer based on their age, income, or family size. So for age, customers' needs and wants changes with their age. For instance, if the target audience is towards elderly, then it will be necessary to provide user-friendly features such as having handrails in the toilet to cater to their needs, whereas this might not be needed if the target audience is towards younger adults. Therefore, as can be seen, even though the property provides the same basic functionality, the wants of customers may be very different. And also income. Customers may be segmented based on their income level. Lower income group may require more assistance as compared to higher income group. And also family size. Large family size are usually have more issues as compared to couples or singles. Thirdly, psychographic segmentation. This involves segmenting customers based on their lifestyle, social class, or personality. It can be shown through their attitudes, opinions, interests, and values. Therefore, by understanding customers' needs, it allows the organization to satisfy the customer's needs. Fourthly, behavioral segmentation. This involves segmenting customers based on their usage, responses, occasion, knowledge, and benefit sorts. In this case, Orient developer is able to segment its customer based on their responses. For instance, if the customer consistently send email requiring attention, then they should be attended to promptly. Therefore, by segmenting customers based on their behavior, it allows the organization to tailor different offerings to different groups. Lastly, segmentation through areas of concern. Customers can be segmented based on the feedbacks and complaints received. For feedback, it can be separated into positive and negative feedbacks, while for complaints, it can be separated into very urgent, urgent, or not as urgent. In this way, it allows the organisation to improve themselves and therefore produce better housing development projects.
So now I'll be sharing on the article issues on the use of such data. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest arises when a person with a vested interest in the company becomes unreliable because there's a clash between personal interest and professional interest. So in the real estate industry, conflict of interest arises when the employee in the developer company or the real estate agents, they misuses the data for their personal benefits. For real estate agents, as they make their earnings by helping the clients to buy, sell, or rent their properties, which means that they receive incentive for to encourage the client to transact in properties. However, some buyers tend to think that the real estate agents they provide sound expert advice. However, they are not paid to do so, and hence some real estate agents they make use of their buyer trust to conduct the sale of property. For in the example of the real estate agent, the interest of Orient Developers Company for the salesperson or real estate agents they are to conduct and market the sale of a property in an ethical way by not misusing the data provided to them. However, some real estate agents tend to disclose data for their own personal benefits or also even provide false news in order to get the clients to actually sell their property and gain commission from that. Hence, conflict of interest arises when the real estate agent they place more priority on earning commission instead of safeguarding the best interest of the company. Oh, no, go back. Okay, so in the example of the employee, who have access to data for the company exclusive use, some will have the tendency to exploit information advantage to buy houses for their own use, which may be 2% lower than the market. Hence, by using the data provided by the company, they use it for their own use and not for the company use. Conflict of interest arises. Okay, so for data integrity is to maintain and assure the accuracy and consistency of data over its entire life cycle. In most company, there are areas where they make important decisions on a routine basis on such data, and these important decisions will contribute in the company's success. And in the real estate industry, it's important to interpret the data correctly and relaying it precisely to the client or buyer. Okay, so for real estate agents, they are actually duty bound to help clients get the best deal possible. However, some have the tendency to not perform their fiduciary duties, such as having the misrepresentation of information. For example, they will use the use of news to lower down the seller's high expectations in order to close the deal with them, or even mislead the client through fabrication of information, such as like in the case, some real estate agents they may provide the idea to the client that they may able to remove certain parts of the components in the building if they do not like it and replace them during renovation. However, this idea may not have the approval of the company, or even the company may not be aware of it. Okay, for employee, they are actually responsible for their own conduct and to maintain a bond of trust between the company and its stakeholder, and they are compliant to actually represent the accuracy of data. However, some cases, the importance of data integrity was disregarded and exploited for their own use. Such example would be like when employees they have access to data for the company exclusive use, some may not accurately reflect the problems, such as the provision of facilities, as they may be responsible for not ensuring that the work done was of standard. Hence, they did not reflect the accurate data which may lead the company to make a wrong decision.
So next I'll be talking about communication issues that occurs from between the developer to marketing agencies. So for every for every new development launch, there has to be market development to advertise and promote the development. This can be done through social media such as newspaper and TV ads, advertisements at bus stops and posters near the district, as well as through property salesperson like ERA or Propnex. So what communication issues can occur between them? If developers do not convey the right and the most accurate development data to the agencies, wrong information may be given to the buyers by the salespersons. If they give them the wrong impression of the development, this will lead them to purchase the unit in having the wrong data in mind. So next will be, what are the communication issues between the property salesperson to the purchasers? The commissions given by the developer are usually 1 to 2%. If the salesperson wants to purposely cheat the buyers out of the commissions by giving them wrong specifications of the units, they are actually directly or indirectly abusing the system and betraying the client's trust for them for their own interests. This will lead to situations like upon TOP, it will result in the problem that is mentioned in problem 4, which is 35 unit owners amending their project in the project, amending their finishes and fittings in project 135. So what are some of the laws that protects the ownership of data of the purchasers? Firstly will be the PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act. It's a data protection law that governs collection, use and the care of personal data of the buyers, such as IC number, address, phone number, as well as the bank account details. This will take into account the following concepts, such as getting the consent of the buyers, telling them the purpose of obtaining their data, as well as the reasonability of the obtaining of their data. Next will be the Do Not Call, which is also known as the DNC registry. It is also under the Personal Data Protection Commission PDPC authority. Buyers can actually choose to opt out of the marketing messages, emails, and fax mails sent by the salesperson. However, if the clients find the use of the personal data too intimidating or is unreasonable, they will be charged accordingly. Corporate bodies who breach the PDPA law will be fined up to $10,000 per offence. With that, I end the presentation. Thank you.